Hello and welcome to all of our Gold viewers who are here with us today. I'm Kristen Schwartz, licensed midwife and one of the MCs here at Gold. And I'm very excited to introduce you today, Cassandra Aho, who is here with us today. Welcome, Cassandra.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
It's wonderful to have you here. You are, of course, one of our speakers of the upcoming Gold Midwifery Online Conference here of 2024. And you're coming to us with a very important topic titled The Midwife's Role in Providing a Survivor-Centered Approach to Intimate Partner Violence During Childbearing. So before we talk about that topic, talk a little bit about your background. You are a midwife too, right? Of course.
I am, yes, I am a midwife. I also have my master's in maternal child health systems, and really have spent many years focusing on creating coordinated community responses that integrate exposure to violence during pregnancy.
Absolutely. And let me ask you this. We had a chance to chat a little earlier about, your work, your background, and why you were so passionate about it. You're a survivor yourself.
Yes.
So tell us a little, and you told us this little story about how you got where you are now.
Yeah, I would love to. So I was in a very violent and dangerous marriage for about a decade. In that time, I had two children, and the the medical system really failed me. I lost my first child at 18 weeks
Hmm.
because the doctors um, didn't see the way that I was being treated as
Mhm.
the clinical implications were there, but they were overlooked. And when I was finally able to leave that marriage, I started in just a domestic violence support group. It was for just people like me that were trying to start over. And in that time, um, somebody was pregnant and didn't want to birth alone. So I went with them. I said, I've had kids. I can hold your hand. We can do this. And that experience really shaped me because I saw a person that had worked very, very hard to rebuild themselves be completely dismantled by their medical provider in,
Mhm.
minutes. And so I was set on a path to change that. And I became a doula and was still getting kicked out of the room and not listened to. So I became a midwife. And throughout that journey, I realized that there still is an education piece missing,
Mhm.
even for midwives. So
Right.
that's why I'm here.
That's why you're here and doing amazing work in the community also. You also have a program, right? You're teaching because you are with us for an hour, of course, but you're also teaching longer programs. So anybody who is listening and watching now and who would like to find out more, what are you teaching and where can they find you?
Yeah, so on my website, midnightmidwifery.com, I have two different offerings for kind of an abridged version for healthcare providers about intimate partner violence, similar to the things that we'll be learning today. I also have a 4-hour training that can be utilized by an individual provider or by an entire practice, which really dives into how somebody can make their practice incredibly safe, the tools that they can use that are in their community. I work really
Mhm.
hard to tailor it to the community that they're in. I also do consultations and support people that want to create a wraparound care community response for clients that may be exposed to violence. So I can come in, I can meet with different folks in the community, we can bridge gaps and offer education for anybody that may be responding to your clients. So,
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Now
yeah.
let's talk also about the presentation here at Gold at the conference, the midwife's role in providing a survivor-centered approach to intimate partner violence during childbearing. I like that, survivor-centered. Now we have some screening tools as midwives, but often it is this disconnect. Okay, now we have the screening tools, we're screening. What comes next? What do we do next with all that, right? It feels like often overwhelming, intimidating. We want to do the right thing, but It's a lot, and we don't want to get it wrong. That's probably the biggest part of it. So talk to us a little what we can look forward to in the presentation.
Yeah, thank you. So, what's really great about this presentation, what makes it different from maybe some education that's out there, is that this presentation is based off of what I created is called the STARS framework. And this is a survivor-centered advocacy, trauma-informed response to intimate partner violence during pregnancy. This is training will offer ways to build institutional empathy with other resources in the community so that the midwife doesn't have to do it alone, but actually has the ability to pull in experts in different disciplines and work together to offer the best support for that client.
Fantastic. Yeah, it sounds great. It sounds like, yeah, and it's so important because, if you're in a midwifery practice, in a small practice, it might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not equipped for that. I'm not educated enough for that. I don't have this, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not I'm not in social work. So it feels kind of too much at times, but like if you're saying we can pull in the community and work together with other providers, then it becomes doable, and then we are probably able to do a much better be of much better service than if we're trying to do it all alone, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important to acknowledge that midwives, especially midwives that are out of hospital or have solo practices, boundaries are important. Capacity is a very real thing, and we cannot be everything to everybody. However, we can bring people in that can support in those ways. And I think it's important that we look at these situations realistically and understand how autonomy and support can really just change the trajectory of somebody's life.
Yeah, perfect. I liked what you just said there. Very powerful. Now, Cassandra, before I let you go, and before, do you have any little, what is your recommendation for midwives? If you could just give them one little thing on their way, what would that be with regards to the topic?
Yeah, I think the most important thing that I hope anybody learns is that safe, autonomous, and empowered births can really change the trajectory of somebody's life. And sometimes doing nothing but being where they are, holding space, allowing folks to make their own decisions really can empower them to change their own lives. And we talk about that with all sorts of topics throughout, pregnancy and birth, but it applies here too.
Fantastic. Well, Cassandra, thank you so much for being here today, talking with me about the presentation and your educational program and the amazing work you're doing out there in the community. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much.
And for our viewers now, if you are interested in that presentation here at the Midwifery Conference, we invite you to go to goldmidwifery.com. We're getting started just in early February, February 5th. And we also have keynote presentations. Our opening keynote is open access, so it's free of charge. If you would like to find out more about that, also go to goldmidwifery.com and find information where you can sign on for that. Thank you, everyone, for watching and participating here with us, and have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Bye-bye, everyone.